Bhakti Dhira Swami Saraswati Niri Visesa Sanya Vadi Pastata Desata Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Vasati Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare So we are reading from 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐵 Adi Lila, chapter 7, verse 37. Aparadakshamayla Udila Prema Jale 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐬 Prabhura Prema Mahajale Aparadakshayla Udila Prema Jale 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐬 Prabhura Prema Mahajale Aparadakshayla Udila Prema Jale 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐬 Prabhura Prema Mahajale. Lord Chaitanya excused them all, and they merged into the ocean of devotional service. No one can escape the unique loving network of Sri Chaitanya. Purport is Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was an ideal Acarya. An Acarya is an ideal teacher who knows the purport of the revealed scriptures, behaves exactly according to their injunctions, and teaches his students to adopt these principles also. As an ideal Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had devised ways to capture all kinds of atheists and materialists. Every Acharya has a specific means of propagating his spiritual movement with the aim of bringing men to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the method one Acharya may be different from that of another, but the ultimate goal is never neglected. Srila Goswami recommends Tashmad Kenapi Upayena Mana Krishna Ive Sayet Sarve Vidhi Nishedha Shur 𝐂𝐴𝐸𝐬 Kinkara. An Acharya should devise a means by which people may somehow or other come to Krishna consciousness. First, it should become Krishna conscious. And all the prescribed rules and regulations may later gradually be introduced. In our Krishna consciousness, we follow this policy of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For example, since boys and girls in the Western countries freely intermingle, special concessions regarding their customs and habits are necessary to bring them to Krishna consciousness. The Acharya must devise a means to bring them to devotional service. Therefore, although I am a sannyasi, I sometimes take part in getting boys and girls married. Although in the history of sannyas, no sannyasi has personally taken part in marriage in marrying his disciples. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this incident, what? And also 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐭𝐢, Srila Damodara Swami and Srila �K𝐻𝐴 Goswami. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was winding up his scholastic lila, so he was not teaching a student the same way he was teaching before. Especially when he returned back from Gaya after meeting his spiritual master, Ishwara Chandra Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed his topic. He was now teaching everything in connection with Krishna. The students were surprised because some of the students and his Chaitanya associate who came with him from the local donor. And some of the students were recruited from here who joined with him. The same principle we saw in Krishna Lila. Krishna came with some gopis from Goloka down here, and some gopis, the Municharis and Sruticharis, they joined him from here. So the student who came with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when they were eventually told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go to a different teacher, they refused to go. Say whatever he does, wherever he is, they are going to follow him. So those students followed. But the student who joins Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from here, they are ordinary students. So they were disturbed when they saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching everything based on Krishna consciousness. And one day they had them chanting Gopi, Gopi, Gopi. They were very furious. You say Brahmana is talking about the Gopi. So foolishly they tried to correct Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why you are talking about Gopis instead of Brahman? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got angry and chased them away because they were interfering with his prayer. So the boys ran away. And they went to meet other their friends who couldn't come that day to relate everything that happened. The boys said, it is a great fortune that their son was alive. That Nimai Pandits wanted to beat them. So some of the foolish boys, they reacted. Who does he think he is? We are Brahmanas. How can he do that? Anyway, if he repeat this again tomorrow, we'll beat him. We'll beat him up. He doesn't have right to do that with Brahmanas. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had them becoming offensive and being offensive, they would never get Krishna Prema, for which he has come to teach. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started thinking seriously. The people whom I came to deliver are now blasphemous. And in that way, I will not be able to liberate them. So I have to do something. So they disguise themselves so that they will be able to. So we'll be able to deliver them. That is the beginning of this. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu But because of people he considered, if I take sannyas, then these people will be respectful. They will offer me obeisances. And by offering obeisances, they will be free from sinful reactions. And this way they will deliver. Thinking in this way, just for the purpose of helping the common people to become Krishna conscious, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Because they know the value of sannyas. So they will offer respectful obeisances and become menial servants. So for this reason of delivering people, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas. So Srila Prabhupada is referring to that. And Lord Chaitanya executed them all, excused them all. He excused his offenders. And they merged into the ocean of devotional service. By this, he took sannyas, and they have to offer him respectful obeisances and get his blessing. No one can escape the unique loving network of Sri Chaitanya. And because Acaryas, they are representing Krishna, therefore they have the same mentality like Krishna. Like father, like son. They have the same goal. To give conditions was opportunity to practice Christian consciousness. That is the goal. And for this, the pure devotees are ready to take any kind of risk to be able to fulfill this. So they do all kinds of things just to facilitate their Christian consciousness. So the situation with ideal Acarya, as Prabhupada said here, an Acarya is an ideal teacher who knows the purport of the revealed scriptures. Not just the scripture, reciting scripture, but one knows what is the goal, what is the purpose of the Vedas. Only bona fide acharyas knows. Not just people who parade themselves as acharya. The real acharya knows the purpose behind the scriptures. Because they are teaching the scriptures, so they know the scripture. They are not just an upstart. We have money in modern days. And Acharya is an ideal teacher who knows the purport of the revealed scriptures. He behaves exactly according to the injunctions and teaches his students to adopt these principles also. Yes. This is an Acharya. He knows the purpose of the revealed scriptures. He behaves exactly according to the conclusion of the scriptures. And he teaches all the students to become perfect in their understanding of the revealed scriptures. Because they have a bona fide master who knows the ultimate purpose of the Vedas. The students are also trained in the same way, the same way the Guru. That's an Acharya. Three qualifications are given here. Thank you. As an ideal Acarya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu devised ways to capture all kinds of atheists and materialists. So the principle we already explained. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu captured all those who were trying to become offensive, they have to change. And for that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deliver them. Every Acharya has a specific means of propagating his spiritual movement with the aim of bringing men to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the method of one Acharya may be different from that of another, but the ultimate goal is never neglected. Never neglected. The ultimate goal is never neglected. It divides many ways. We have seen this in Srila Prabhupada's life. And Prabhupada divides so many ways, so many ways. Writing books extensively, printing books, always. Collect preaching, university preaching. Yes. Prabhupada introduced so many things. Collect preaching, food for life, book distribution, books printing. He formed BBT, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. He introduced GBC, Governing Body Commission. He gave temples, varieties of deities all over the world, all over the planet, all over the universe, all over. And food for life, deity worship, Bhakti Vriksha, Namahat, temples, restaurant, Gurukul. There's so many things. So many things, proper design. Everything he did, live membership and club membership, full-time devotee. So many things, the proper design. He designed all these things for the purpose of making people be connected with Krishna. He just want to give people a chance and opportunity to be connected with Krishna. For this, the Prabhupada has devised so many ways. Another way is, as he mentioned here, is that Acharya must devise a means to bring them to devotional. Therefore, although I am a sannyasi, I sometimes take part in getting boys and girls married. Although in the history of sannyas, no sannyasi has personally taken part in marrying his disciples, but Prabhupada did. So Prabhupada did. Only saw Western people have a free mixing, boys and girls together. Freely. Free means illicit dealings. Free, no restriction. So encourage. Highly encourage to advertise and really preach seriously. It's be done. And here Srila Prabhupada is going to preach is preaching. And people who were coming, they were coming, boys and girls, coming together. What to do? Tell them no 𝐿6 they should get out. He said, God brothers who were sent by the Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Prabhupada. They didn't succeed because they don't know this principle. They will stick to their customs. They will simply stick to their custom, not considering the purpose behind all regulatory principles. The laws are given not to kill, not to destroy, not to break anyone. The laws are given to rectify us. Punishment is not to destroy. Punishment is to help maintain law and order in a society. Every law abiding citizens have the protection of the leaders. But deviants are punished by the leaders. So the idea behind punishment is to rectify, to help us get to realize that what we're doing is wrong, and we give it up and take to the better purpose. That is the principle, that is the process, but the majority of people don't know what is behind punishment. And they consider it to be condemnation or destruction. No. And Acarya knows, he knows the utility, the principle of utility. Our Acharya should know this. And Srila Prabhupada is the best Acharya who knows the principle of utility. The laws are there, but what is behind the laws? That must be understood and applied and should be taught to the disciples. Srila Prabhupada did this perfectly. It's one of the reasons why he succeeded. Because he knows the principle of utility, how to use things, how to use everything in Krishna consciousness perfectly. So Prabhupada is an Acharya. Perfectly. Yes. So he succeeded. Prabhupada succeeded because he knows the principle of utility. When Prabhupada saw that the boys and the girls, they are all together, sitting together, they move together, they sleep together, do all kinds of sinful activities together. So what to do? Srila Prabhupada didn't change our principle. He didn't change the principle. He left it as it is. At the same time, Prabhupada established preaching according to the place, time, and circumstances. Place, time, and circumstances, yet as it is. As it is means that everything, the style was changed, but the real thing was not changed. For example, he changed the 64 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra to 16 rounds. He didn't change the mantra, he only changed the mantra. So it is as it is, according to place, time, and circumstances. So we cannot chant 64 rounds every day. Okay, chant 16. What is the effect we see around the
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, there seems to be some connection problem on Gurudev's side. Let's wait a bit for him.
Hare Krishna, sorry for the inconvenience. Gurudev will be joining soon because his network is really bad over there. We apologize all the devotees. Thank you so much.
So Srila Prabhupada introduced the sannyasi doing wedding, marrying the disciple. This was not there before. He was the first person to do this. There was nobody. He was alone. When he called his god brothers to come, they all refused to meet him. And he's preaching, and people have come. What to do? You cannot just leave everything like that. He has to move on. And move on, has to move on positively. He knows the principle. So he did wedding for the disciples. Because he's saying that all of them are coming with the girls and the boys are all coming together. As many of them were living together. So Prabhupada said there's no illicit sex. There's no illicit sex. So since both of you are already attracted to each other and live together, say get married. You become legal, become responsible. Not irresponsible, you become responsible. So he has to wed them. And to do that, he was alone. Nobody is there. So he did it. He did it. The effect is very powerful. We have so many wonderful devotees. So many wonderful devotees. Today in our movement, who have preached extensively in this movement, is a result of the Prabhupada's purity, and knowing the principle of utility, utilizing everything for its purpose. In Bhagavad Gita, he said, everything has its purpose. Everything in this world has its purpose. But it depends on the amount of knowledge. You want to know how to apply everything for the purpose they stand for and for the benefit of everyone. So Prabhupada is an ideal Acarya, perfect Acarya for this. And he succeeded where others failed. Because he knows the principle of utility. So Prabhupada did that. Although the God brother criticized and talk, but they see everything by the result it produced. Not just talking. See the result. What the result is that many people have become devotees because of that. See, it's not just about the laws, but what is the benefit? What is the purpose of the laws that we keep? What effect is it having on us? Srila Prabhupada already told us, following rules and regulations without knowing the purpose is condemned. Rejecting rules and regulations whimsically is also condemned. We should do everything with reasonable purpose. So we see there's so many things proper change, and the effect is so powerful. So powerful. So Prabhupada engaged both men and women in Buddhist devotion, in preaching, in everything, in Pujari work, and it is good in everything. And because everything was done under his guidance and perfectly done, the result is also perfect. So to produce perfect results. So the style is different. Yeah, the style will be different because we're individual and we have a different mission. And also it's according to place, time, and circumstances. Some places, things are not the same. another place, things are not the same. So we cannot use the same principle everywhere. Yes, we use the same principle everywhere, but have to change the style. Prabhupada is expert in that. Change the style. And you'll get a perfect result. You change the style. System Mahaprabhu did as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything begins from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all his bona fide Acharya, they follow the same principle. Because they have the same common goal. They always succeed. So Prabhupada succeeded because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu succeeded. So Srila Prabhupada succeeded. So all of us who are following Srila Prabhupada will also succeed. Whether we follow with good intention, as they had good intention, and they follow for the benefit of all the whole world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, you mentioned that the purpose of the Acharya is to devise means how to attract conditioned soul to take to devotional service. So in fact, he is like creating the fortune of the conditioned souls. Now, once we are connected to the Acharya, so what does it really mean to become a true representative of the Acharya? What does it really mean?
To be connected with Acharya.
Yes, we are connected now. Now, what does it really mean to be like the true representative, or the true follower of the Acharya?
True follower means that we are following exactly what they introduce. We are not concocting our own, we are following what they have established. So we are following that. That is follower. So we study the system they have established. We study the system they have established very carefully, because everything is written. And we are following just that. And also, as they produce result, we see the result as well. That is what I mean. What it means that we are true followers. We're not concocting anything. Neither are we watering down the things. We keep everything as it is. And people are taking shelter. That's what it means. All right?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. And there's another question, Guru Maharaj. If we want to be empowered by the Acharyas, so in short, what the disciple have to do, or the followers, what they have to do to get them empowered?
To be empowered means we have to do what they want. You have to do what they want. That's how we get empowered. To do what they want. What they want us to do, not what we want to do. Or not what we want to do for us. But we have to do what they want us to do. What they want us to do is clearly written and clearly spoken. You reach the purpose they have given to you. So many places mentioned. If you stick to this process, your success is guaranteed. This purpose, following the four regulative principles. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds minimum every day, and be fixing our service to the deities, to Krishna. So we're very, very concerned about about each other's welfare. This is what they want us to do. If we follow that, we'll be empowered by the strong sadhana. And strong sadhana, yes. Strong sadhana brings empowerment. If you maintain the strong sadhana, will be empowered. That is the process of empowerment. Maintain strong sadhana and follow strictly what they have given to us. We are sure to be empowered. And Papa said, to serve the pure devotee as a manual service. That is the secret of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Serve like a manual servant without false prestige. Secret of advancement in Krishna consciousness. That is the secret. All right. Next question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dhanavad Pranam.
Thank you.
Nice to hear, Maharaj. Thank you for explaining so well. Maharaj, we read all the Acaryas actually, and we go through their life also. So they have sacrificed a lot, and it is very difficult to follow their footstep at this age. For me, actually, I mean, just generally, yeah. So, which is the minimum, or we can, as per my capacity, I should follow? What should be that? What is your instruction for me that I should follow this, at least to actually excel myself into the devotional service?
Prabhupada are giving us 16 rounds to chant. 16 rounds is a minimum, not maximum. Minimum. So we have given the four regrettable principles to keep. And we will do this thing successfully only with the Devotees Association. Not individually. In association of devotees. And we have been given service to do. So that service is taken as our life and soul. When the Bhagavatam said that they took the instructions on their head, means they are executing it to the best of their ability. They are doing it. They carried the instructions on their head, means the instruction they are doing it. They are executing it. Very carefully, executing the instruction. Very carefully. Very carefully means what? That they are doing it for their pleasure. Because most of the time we are using our child as a bait. So we're not doing it for them, we are doing it for ourselves, but we are using their name. So we should do it for them as they wanted it to be, and as they will be pleased with it. That we can do because everybody has given, everybody has service. Everybody has service. And everybody have been given a mantra and the principles to keep. So we already have everything. This is a bare minimum everyone can do. So do it to be successful. We know that their level is very high and some of us are low. That is not the reason that we shouldn't do anything. From any level, we can do something. From any level, we can do something. We can chant Hare Krishna from any level. We can come principle, we can keep principle from any level. We can do service from any level. We can associate with devotee from any level. This is within our reach, so we should do it. We'll be empowered by them to the topmost level. Yes. That's all right?
Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much. Maharaj, one more question I have related to the Acharyas. This, as I read that some of the sannyasi, and I was reading the Canto 7, so it's mentioned that there should not be, sannyasi should be forbidden in the Kali Yuga. And we see there are so many sannyasis and ISKCONs. So what do, and also we have a Vanaprastha in mentioned in various in Canto 1 by, and then so many cantos, and also in Canto 7. So one is basically what is the main role of sannyasi as of now today in this age of Kali, and what is the difference between Vanaprastha and the sannyasi in this age?
Before, Vanaprastha means one has retired from household life, so you are going to the forest. But now our forests have been replaced by Krishna consciousness. That is our Vanaprastha, Krishna consciousness. So we don't have to go to the forest. It's taken to Krishna consciousness. Yes, sannyasi is one of the things forbidden in Kali Yuga. Because we lack the training. First of all, the training is not there from the beginning. This is first disqualification. There is no training from the beginning. And because the foundation is wrong, the risk is very high. The risk is very high. So that is very, very clear. It's very, very clear for anyone to understand why ISKCON is giving sannyas. Violation of the principle. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced it. It is forbidden for the Mayavadis, but not for ISKCON. Like we mentioned that the rules and regulations are given not to break anyone. It is to keep law and order. It will help us get rectified. Also, the essence of the rules also should be understood. For the essence, what is the use of taking sannyasa and go around begging for food? Once one is taking sannyasa to become a burden for householders, they can go and dissolve householders so they can get food to eat. There is no sannyas. Sannyas means one should take take this sannyas to preach Krishna consciousness. To preach Krishna consciousness, God consciousness all over the world. See. Preach Krishna consciousness. That is sannyas. Therefore, it is not forbidden in ISKCON. It's authorized, approved. And you see that the ISKCON sannyasis are traveling, preaching, opening more preaching centers, opportunities. Even the existing, even the existing temple centers, they are maintaining that. So we fulfill the purpose of sannyas. Preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. Vigorously, as Prabhupada said he did. And as we saw Prabhupada do. So we have to follow the same thing. This is falling, this is parampara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, let me take sannyas so I can preach Krishna consciousness. And people should offer obeisance to sannyas and get blessed. So even just that alone, and people are getting blessed, then they're going to preach. That is another benefit. Want to preach. So we are doing the business of being a sannyasi, of preaching Krishna consciousness. So the restriction does not affect his conduct. It affects other people who have no preaching business. They are simply beggars. We go every house to hawk for food. That is a different thing. All right, Prabhu.
Maharaj, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Shra Gurudev. Please accept my most humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. There's no question yet. Devotees who are having question can still raise their hands or type their questions in the chat box. I think there is no more question, Shra Gurudev.
All right.
We
Thank
can
you.
end the session. Thank you so much, Shra Gurudev, for your wonderful lecture. And thank you all the devotees who have participated. Hoping to see all of you next Monday. Thank you, Shra Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada
Hare
ki jai.
Krishna.
Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj ki.
Jai. Haribo.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shra Gurudev.
Hare Krishna Gurudev.